Ah, greetings.
Um, hey, let me see. Yeah. Well, I might have had too much caffeine, but I know when I get pissed. How about the Fuji system? No, I'm not pissed at Fuji. Not pissed at them. I hate it when people play gatekeeper. Kind of like the Catholic Church that has all these neat ancient Greek and Neoplatonic, neoclassical monistic texts that are buried in their, not buried literally, in their vaults in the Vatican Library. There are certain sections that are unreachable by outsiders. Yeah, I know that I'm talking about the Da Vinci Code here. I'm not talking about conspiracies. I'm talking about people, this is real. This pisses me off. People that hide information for their own private gain or because they want to have power, like a puppeteer over somebody. Let's see, how do I put this lightly? Anyway, there is a tips and tricks book on the Fuji system. And I knew this trick, of course, before buying the book, but I thought I would buy it because I'm relatively new to the Fuji system. And I did buy the books, and I did contact the author. And I really not going to fault him for this, whoever that may be. I'm really not. But I am. Stuff like that really burns my ass right into the dirt. I mean, it burns me. It pisses me right the F off. Why? I'll tell you why, and you're going to have to agree with me once I tell you. If you're going to create a tips and tricks video, I keep saying video, book about the Fuji cameras, you're going to list all these tips. That's great. And of course, you can't list them all. I asked the author why the hell he didn't include the fact that you should use Iridium Developer when processing Fuji RAW files. And I should have known the answer before I got the answer. And the answer was that information, which of course is vitally important. It's like that's out of tips and tricks about the Fuji system, that ranks as top 5 at least. Top 5 at least. It's like I said, why isn't this information in the book? Because this person's a smart person, and they're very, very well experienced with the Fuji system. And the answer, of course, as a prognosticator that I am, said, well, his answer was, I save that for paid seminars, workshops. I don't know if he said workshops or seminars. It's like, well, okay, that's a valid answer, but stuff like that burns my ass into the dirt, and it should burn your ass into the dirt. I've written several books, and someone's always say, why didn't you do this? Why don't you have a glossary on your book? Well, I'm working on the glossary. It's going to eventually be in there. Of course, my book is free, but nobody expects anybody to work for free, even though my books are free. Everybody's got to put food on the table. God knows, as fat as I am, I've got food on the table. But man, this is why people are bitching about over on Diaper and Pee Review and some of these other places where these, I tested it out with my digital micrometer and it didn't measure up. And it's like, well, what did you use to process that RAW file? I used Lightroom. Like, okay, well, guess what? Fuji RAW files suck ass in Lightroom. You don't process Fuji RAW files in Lightroom. You use Iridium Developer, and amazingly, you got Adobe, the billion-dollar, multi-billion-dollar corporation. Iridium Developer was developed by one dude, and everybody that's tried all the RAW processors will tell you, it's like, yep, Iridium Developer is what you use on Fuji RAW files. Yep. A couple of them are kind of close, like Capture One is pretty close. But it's Iridium Developer, and that's it. You should be using Iridium Developer, and you should also be using a Mac. So when someone writes a tips and tricks book, and I knew that they knew that Iridium Developer was just the tits for processing RAW files. Like, why don't this is a paid-for book. Unlike my books, which are free, your book, you have to pay for it. And I'm not really faulting the author of the book. His book is actually good. And I'm not faulting either the author or his book. Not faulting the author of the book, but when you tell someone that they've bought the book and, like one of the top 5 most important tips is that you use Iridium Developer when you're processing Fuji raw files, and you say, and I knew that's what the answer was going to be, that you save that for your paid workshops or seminars, that burns my ass. That is like a Zen master. Well, I'm going to make this analogy. People, let's talk about Scientology, for example, which of course is just, well, let me maybe not talk about that because they love to sue the hell out of people. And let's talk about, some sort of crazy cult that gives you secret knowledge the more money you pay. Oh my God, what a novel concept that is, secret knowledge. What sort of humanitarian would give out important information for free when you could charge somebody? What's that old saying? Why give away the cow when you're, what is it? Why pay for the milk when you get the cow for free or something like? I can't remember what the hell that phrase is. I should remember it, but it's late in the night. But stuff like that burns my biscuit. Yeah, that's a southern saying, burn my biscuit. And I don't like that. And it's nothing against the book, and it's nothing against the author. I don't like very, very, very important knowledge that is withheld from a book about a system where if you own this system, trick number 1, or at least top 5, is that you need to be using a Radiant Developer. And I will not be doing any stuff like that. I'm not going to have any if you donate me some money on the side and butter my hand, I'll tell you something neat that'll help you out and save you time and stress and effort. My premise is that if you ask me a direct question, I'll give you a direct answer, and I don't want anything from you. I don't want anything. I want you to save time and money, and I ain't charging for it. And, well, that's noble and all, but, if I were to write a book about something, I'd give it away for free, number 1, but I don't expect anybody to do that. They got to pay the damn bills. Your work and your effort is costs money, okay? I understand that. I'm not an idiot. But by God, you include information like that in a book that someone pays for. See, if they're paying for the book, my idea is that they should also be getting that information in the book. But maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm crazy and I'm totally off base here, But this is also one of the reasons that people are bitching, and there's not that many, but they have a legitimate bitch. Like, I processed that Fuji raw file in Lightroom, and it looks like crap compared to my Canon 5D or my Nikon D. It's like, yeah, what did you use to process it? I used Lightroom. That's what you did wrong. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Lightroom processes everything. God. It's all about the money, isn't it? Money, money, money. Money, 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 money. How about you give the information out to people and be generous? Life is short. If you know something to help somebody, help them! Thank you for watching. Catch you later. Bye.